contract management, sanitation services, environmental, and just a myriad of things. They have over 60 projects on their plate, and they continue to keep the balls in the air and keep juggling, and they continue to work towards getting equipment and technology to make sure that we're providing the best possible support to our city. So I do want to acknowledge Leslie Riddle and the entire Public Works team for the great work that they do, and we'll be celebrating them a little bit at the end of this month. I say a little bit, but we'll have a big cookout at the end of the month, and we'll acknowledge not only Public Works professionals, but also our police department, who had their police week last week. May 15th through the 21st was National Police Week, and of course, May 15th was Police National Peace Officers Memorial Day. And we do also want to acknowledge our police officers for the great work they do. They leave the comfort of their homes every day to protect and serve ours, and often in dangerous and unpredictable conditions. So we appreciate Chief Towers and all of the great work that the department does every day protecting and serving this community. As part of Police Week, we had one of our own, Scott Hurley, who went 250 miles. He does this every year, well, for the last 12 years, as you can see there, from Pennsylvania to D.C. in the Police Unity Tour. So we're grateful for him. He represents Hyattsville every year doing this. So thank you to our police department and Scott Hurley. And I want to congratulate Lieutenant Evans. He just graduated from Northwestern University. They have a school of police, staff, and command. And it's a very rigorous school. It's 10 weeks, and they just teach leadership and public safety management. And so he graduated last week, so we do want to congratulate him on that achievement. You'll see him out and about again in our community. He's been missing for about 10 weeks. And Officer Brown, he just recently completed emergency response team training at Baltimore County at their SWAT school. And so we're really proud of him. That is very difficult, very intensive training. SWAT is Special Weapons and Tactics School, but it is very difficult. You can see the list of things that they do there: physical fitness, firearms qualifications, and a lot of academics and tactics training. So he was only one of 9 candidates to graduate. The majority, normally about half, do not make it through. And again, it is a very tough and rigorous school. So if you see him around, congratulate Officer Brown. And congratulations to our new city clerk. He's been on the job tonight. Nate Gronendijk is our new city clerk. Most of you recall that Laura has moved over to the deputy city administrator position. So Nate is at the helm. And so he is now the city clerk and the director of legislative services. So congratulations, Nate. And Corporal Quevedo, he has 2 dogs now. He has Rudy and he has Hugo. And they just came back from a Joint Base. Now, we participate in this every year, Joint Base Andrews. It's a canine competition where they bring canines from around the region. Very unusual to get first place in 2 different areas. On occasion, we have had first place and then a couple seconds, thirds, fourths. But in this case, he won first place. His dogs, his partners, Rudy and Hugo, both won first place. Rudy for narcotics detection and Hugo for controlled response to various scenarios. So we thank TJ Quevedo and, of course, both of his partners, Rudy and Hugo. Just a reminder, we've got the Fox Zip Trip coming up. That's going to be this Friday. Fox 5, they're going to kick off the morning show. It'll start at 8 a.m. At the branch library. They'll be there till 11. So community, please come out and join us if you're interested. The Zip Trip, for those of you who have seen it before, they spotlight municipalities and restaurants and events around the metro area. They came a couple years ago when we did our Juneteenth celebration. So they are back again. We're excited to have them. And I do want to thank Cindy Zork for coordinating and working all the details of that trip. Law Enforcement Torch Run will take place on Tuesday, the 18th. So I'm announcing that a little bit early just to let everyone know that that will be happening. That is a run with not only police officers, but also Special Olympics athletes. And primarily the goal of that group is to raise awareness and to raise funds. and they carry the flame of hope as they run up Baltimore Avenue, Route 1, through all the way to College Park, where they'll pass the torch on. Our youth continue to engage and do a lot of fun things. I really appreciate Josbeth and the entire youth team under, of course, Sandra Shepard's leadership. The Theater Lab Life Stories program. Some of you were there. I know I saw Councilmember Wozak, a lot of the staff were there. But the children collaborated and they participated in making a documentary or a short film. And that's what they've been over there learning from the Theater Lab Life Stories program. And so they embarked on a journey of their own experiences. And it was really a rehearsal that we got to participate in, Unexpected Encounter of the Universe. So congratulations to our kids and to Community Services and, of course, the Youth Department. Youth Advisory Council interviews just took place. I know a couple of council members participated in that too. I think Councilmember McClellan and Wozak, and of course several staff members, as you can see there, interviewing our youth. There were 15 youth that competed, but 10 will be selected to actually be on the Youth Advisory Council. But, you know, we were proud of these young people. You can see the picture. I mean, they dressed up and they really prepared, and they did a great job. And so I find it very hard to figure out which 10 will move forward, but I do thank everyone that participated in the interviews. And those that don't move forward will actually be invited to participate in the programs. And Crossover Church, they had a baby shower, a Mother's Day shower, and a bike to work, well, two different things. Crossover Church had the Mother's Day gift and diaper giveaway, and we, of course, our community service staff supports that. And on Friday, the 17th, Aero Bike hosted the Bike to Work Day, and they did a very nice pit stop at Driscoll Park. So thank you for all of you who participated in that. We received our new bus. This was a grant-funded bus. This was a lot of work. We received a grant several years ago, but because of delays in building the vehicles and just all kinds of challenges through COVID, we have just now received our new vehicle. So it's a 21 seat, as you can see, and it does have wheelchair access. But again, it was from the grant. It was fully grant funded, and it just provides another means of getting our youth and our seniors around the town. The grant also covered the hiring of an additional driver. So thanks to Marcy Lefevre, who worked on that grant, and the community services team and DPW team who got this vehicle on the road for us. Historic tour just took place last weekend. I think it was Delegate Healy that mentioned that it is finally back. We have not seen this since 2019. And so we appreciate all the residents who put their houses out there for the rest of us to walk through and enjoy. But we appreciate the Hyattsville Preservation Association. Okay, so I've got 2 slides for a quick budget update, and then I'll just talk about the weekly offerings. So as you know, we will be doing the first reading of the budget. But up until that point, we've had several meetings where there have been some additions, and we've had meetings where we've moved some things or delayed some action. So we wanted to give you the updated numbers, which I found surprising, but you may not. So, Ron, I'm going to turn it over to you if you would like to talk to this.
Good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so just a quick update. As you recall, this chart is very similar to the chart that you found in the FY24 budget book and during our presentation. The revenues, general fund revenues remain the same. It's $27.4 million. That did not change. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Tracy. Wrong chart. Okay. All right. So this chart here, it reflects, it's similar to the chart that you just seen that was in the FY24 budget book and during our budget presentation. This chart here reflects the proposed budget ordinance, as the city administrator just mentioned, that will be introduced at the next council meeting. The budget ordinance, if you will, is going to reflect these changes, as you can see. Again, general fund revenues as presented was 27.4. Based on the last 2 council meetings, there were a number of actions taken by this body. Real quick, as you can see, this body added $100,000 for climate action, $3,000 for race and equity task force, $50,000 for the program data analyst, and $1,000 additional went from $1,000 to $2,000 or the net, and $1,000 increase for the principal's luncheon, and then a total of $6,000 increase for mayor and council members' discretionary funds. That went up $1,000 for each ward, so that was $6,000 in addition. So that total adds to the budget. The original budget that was submitted was $160,000. Now there were some takeaways from the budget, or what we removed from the budget. Again, was an action taken by this body a couple meetings ago. And so we removed the $40,000 for the lobbyists that was noted during the city administrator's budget presentation. And then there was $120,000 for the language program. And so those two cuts kind of offset each other, $160,000. The transfers from the general fund reserves remain the same. The only difference was special revenues at the time was about somewhere, I think it was 3.2, 3.4. The difference is in the ordinance, you're just going to see the special revenue funds. What's not included here is the ARPA funds, which was included in the original one. The ARPA appropriations for FY25 will come back at the next two meetings once we get some resolution as to where we are with the final ARPA numbers relative to ongoing projects. The other number that remains the same is the capital improvements fund. We presented a capital improvements of 13.5. That number remains the same. So the total of all funds, as you can see with the adds and the reductions, revenues being the same. Only thing that you see in special revenues that you will see in the ordinance again is 1.9. That represents current grants that we have that will be noted in the special revenues area. And that also represents a couple other budgetary funds that we have there. Total of all funds, if you will, reduced from 50.3 down to 47.7. Again, these numbers will be reflective in the budget ordinance that's going to be introduced in the next meeting. Any questions? I know that was quick and a lot.
And we'll have time at the end to ask as well if you'd like me to finish, go through. It's up to you, Council President Solomon.
Nope. Well, I was going to say the same thing. We'll do questions at the end.
Okay. Okay, so I just want to go through the weekly offerings, some of the things that are coming up. The Hyattsville is Home art classes. That's going to be on Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 12. Senior Fit exercise class is still going on. That's every Wednesday, 10 to 11. Zumba, again, getting very popular. Wednesdays, 4 to 5 p.m. Please come out and visit both of those, the Senior Fit and the Zumba. Digital literacy and instruction class, that's on Wednesday as well. That's from 12 to 1. And then the Hyattsville is Home virtual art class is all day Friday. Okay, and then we've got some committee meetings coming up. We've got the Ethics Commission meeting, that's on Tuesday the 21st. The Planning Committee meeting, that's also on Tuesday the 21st. Now that one's at 7, where the Ethics Committee meeting is at 5. Health, Wellness, and Recreation Advisory Committee is Thursday, May 23rd at 7 p.m. And the Race and Equity Task Force meeting is Tuesday, May 28th. All right, so here's a list of upcoming events. All of these can be found on our website, so I'm not going to give all the details of where they're located, but I will just read them all for people who cannot see the screen but are rather listening. So the Fresh Produce Distribution is Tuesday, May 21st. The CERT Team, Community Emergency Response Team meeting, that's Wednesday, May 22nd. The Seniors on the Go trip to Smithsonian to Smithsonian Zoo is Thursday, May 23rd. Spanish Language Tree Care Workshop is Thursday, May 23rd. Hyattsville Zip Trip, we talked about that earlier, is this Friday at 8 a.m. Age-Friendly Work Group Meeting is Monday, May 27th. Community Cultural Conversations, that conversation is going to be about gender identity and sexual expression. That's on Thursday, May 30th from 6:30 to 8:30. Free diaper distribution coming up again on Friday the 31st. and another Spanish language tree care workshop on June 1st. Free Movie Monday is June 3rd. That's coming back. We haven't done that in a while. And then there's just a note here that we are going to be closed in observance of Memorial Day on Monday, the 27th. And there will be no yard waste on that day. And trash recycling routes remain the same Tuesday through Friday. I believe that's all I have. Yes, that is. So I will stop share in case there are any questions for me or the treasurer.